Update. Boyfriend 23M told me 23M to pick between him and my pet. Original. Thanks for all the replies y'all. I had thought it was a weird thing to request and your responses helped me cement that idea, though I hadn't really thought of it as a potential red flag. Later that same day I ended up calling him, and he actually answered. I told him I wasn't really interested in his reasoning, but I was breaking up with him because, when made to pick between him and socks, I pick socks, and that he had 2 weeks to pick up any stuff from my apartment or I donate it. He came by the next day and wordlessly picked it all up. Apparently, according to mutual friends, who have mostly taken my side, he's saying some pretty awful shit about me, but anyone who actually knows me would probably be able to work out that it's not true. It's still kind of upsetting, though, because it's pretty awful stuff. Either way, it's just me and socks now and it's pretty nice. Picking socks was 100% the right idea. And because I mentioned a pet, here's a picture of socks. Those socks was a cat lul. Didn't read your first post but good for you, he's a healthy looking. Tarantula? I wanna say tarantula. Well, I did not expect a tarantula. And now I've learned to check comments before clicking on a picture, so that my phobia doesn't get triggered to high heaven. That said, I 110% agree with your decision. Seriously? If anyone made me pick between my pet and them, I'm taking the pet. Love socks so much. 10 points to Team Socks. I cannot imagine a more low-maintenance pet than a tarantula. You definitely made the right decision. How hard would it be to rehome it? As long as he can feed himself and use the bathroom on his own, he should be fine. Then you and your Spidey won't have to worry about him anymore. I hate spiders but I hate your ex-boyfriend's ultimatum more. You made the right choice. Not a cat. Not a cat. FCK, I wasn't expecting that. Lol, socks looks nice and healthy. Good on you for keeping your boundaries. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go look in pictures of bunnies and find where my heart jumped to. My girlfriend just won't return the favor sometimes. Small example. Last night I was very tired and falling asleep, but knew I needed some water. She was going to take the dogs out and get hers filled, so I asked if she could fill mine. She said I could fill my own. I get this. Only every time I go down to fill mine, and she asks me to fill hers, I do it, no questions asked, because it only makes sense. In the moment, I feel guilt for asking her. But then realize I do little things like this for her that she is hardly ever willing to do for me and I just don't get it. Edit. This is getting a bit more traffic than I anticipated, so I will clarify some things. 1. She has done this before. 2. She has also done the opposite before, meaning she's filled it up, and sometimes has even asked to do so. 3. She does other things for me, surprises me with coffee, buys random things that I said that I needed. 4. We have spoken, and she said she was just being playful and that when she went down, she couldn't find my water bottle. She's now kind of love-bombing me over text now that I've expressed I'm angry. She thinks I will break up with her if I get mad or show any sort of discontent. So before we've even resolved things or before I have time to think, I have to respond to her, I love yous, or the, I'm sorries. 5. This kind of attitude has played out in the bedroom too, but I don't say anything. I am not at the point though where I no longer want to ask because I've brought it up as an issue. So now every time this comes up, I'll feel anxious. I hate conflict and voicing my needs because they'll either be invalidated or the other person will overcompensate, which makes me feel guilty. This isn't as stupid as you think. It's the little things that make a relationship. Yes, you absolutely could go down at get your own, but part of being in a relationship is doing little things for your partner. It sounds like she's treating you as a roommate. What would happen if you said no when she asked for a drink? If she will listen, you should talk to her about how it's feeling one-sided. Have you tried not doing it for her and see how she reacts? 1. If it upsets her, you could point out that this is exactly how she behaves when you ask. 2. If it doesn't upset her, then I guess it is up to you whether you want to continue filling hers. Or if it bother you too much, then try to reserve some time with her to explicitly talk about expectations and needs. Maybe she is not aware of its importance to you. I'm curious to see what would happen if you acted like her and stopped doing her favors. I always was under the impression that it's just a part of a relationship to do and return favors. You're not her servant after all. Bro, my old roommate from a year ago treated me better. We did shit for each other. No questions asked. Ask her why. What great qualities does she have that will make you overlook her selfishness? She's selfish and doesn't respect you. If she cared about you at the same level as you care about her, she would gladly reciprocate favors for you. It's obvious she feels she's entitled to you doing things for her. Bro, hard truth. She feels she's settling and she is not as into you as you are into her. Get some dignity and break up with her ASAP. You are sweet, you deserve better. Wife was leaving me for someone else, he just died. Back in March I, 33 male, found out my wife, 30 female, was having an affair after 15 years of being together. Completely broke my heart. I wanted a divorce originally, but opted to see if we could work on things. Our version of work on things is always to move past things and pretend they never happened. Obviously not healthy, and I wish looking back we did something differently. From March-August, things were okay. We pretended like it never happened, and since we never truly dealt with it, you could tell things were off, even though we continued to put a smile on our aces. In August she admitted that she still had feelings for this other guy. August-December, we continued to live together but we were growing apart. She was texting the other guy, though claiming that she was not. She wanted a divorce. I was not ready to want that, though deep down I knew that there was no way our relationship could ever return to normal. I was holding out for how things were in the past. She was prepared to begin moving on with her life, but also was trying to be there for me as I grieved, which in hindsight probably gave me some false hope. I had finally come to grips with things over the past 2 weeks. A lot of therapy and talking to friends got me to a point where, though I didn't want to lose my best friend, I understood it had to be over for everyone's sake. My wife was planning on moving forward with the guy she had the affair with. He lived out of state, but he eventually intended to move here so that they could be together. I knew it would be a tough transition for me, but I was slowly ready to do it, and began working on bettering myself for my future. Job promotion, therapy, lost 25 pounds quitting alcohol and getting a gym membership, etc. The other day, I found out he unexpectedly passed away. I had always hoped that they would not remain together, out of pure selfish spite. But now, seeing how broken my soon-to-be ex-wife is, I am completely devastated for her. I'm devastated that my marriage is over, but also devastated that her whole life is forever changed. I'm devastated that a person lost their life at a young age, regardless that he had a hand in my marriage ending. No one deserves that to happen. And as much as I wanted to hate this guy, he did seem like a good person otherwise, as crazy as that sounds. I can't even come to grips that this has happened to me, to her, to this guy. It feels like no one is winning or coming out better in the end here. It seems like nothing but sadness for everyone involved. I've tried talking to friends and my therapist, but I can't make sense of any of this anymore. People have told me I should cut off my ex and let her grieve, but she's been my closest friend for a decade and a half regardless of our marriage ending. I can't imagine not being there for her. I was finally getting to a place where I could see some sort of light at the end of the tunnel of my marriage being over, but now I just see a long road of everyone grieving for so many reasons, and everyone being changed forever, probably in a negative way, because of this. Too long did not read. Wife had an affair earlier this year. She was planning to divorce me and start a life with this guy, but he just passed away unexpectedly this week. Edit. Just an FYI, for those saying to continue with the divorce, I do fully intend to do that. This doesn't change anything from that standpoint. That's rough. I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm sorry to say this, but I think you should still go through with the divorce. She's already made it clear that she's had feelings for someone else, which means that her feeling for you dwindled. At least romantically. I can easily see her cheating on you again. I understand the best friend part, but let me assure you, I am still great friends with my ex-wife after a 6-year marriage. I'd still be moving forward with divorce and moving on with your life. It isn't heartless or unfair to do so. You don't have to be married to her to be of support about a death she is experiencing. She isn't your best friend, she isn't even your friend. A friend wouldn't do that to you. Get her out of your life and find someone who wants to be with you. He's not a good person just because he died. He knew you were married to her and she cheated on you with him. She's also a shit person who doesn't deserve your support or love. She already bailed on you months and months ago. Have some self-respect and move on from her. As cold as this sounds, she didn't give a flying fuck at a rolling donut for you. She was 1 foot out the door. As soon as you see that, the better it is. Don't slow down on the split, full steam ahead, find someone who wants to be with you. Imagine being devastated because your soon-to-be ex-wife lost the person she's leaving you for. That's her problem, now. Continue your self-improvement and get her out of your life, you deserve better. If she's your closest friend, then I am truly sorry for you. Best friends wouldn't do each other like this. I think you have little to no self-esteem and need to stand up for yourself and move on with your life the same way your best friend had. Good God, man, get a grip. F. That guy and your ex-wife. They showed you no respect whatsoever. You sound like a great person undeserving of what you got. Distance yourself from your toxic cheating ex. It's karma. Sorry for sounding so rough, but I'm mad just reading this. Good luck, you deserve much better. Boyfriend, 22M, is going out and he has COVID. I'm so angry. My boyfriend texted me he tested positive with COVID, and we share location and I saw he was at the gym. I hate that he doesn't take it seriously and says it's not a big deal. He is vaccinated but still he is so selfish. What should I tell him to understand it's not a joke? Edit. We got in a fight and broke up. I am very sad. My dad died because of someone like your boyfriend. #F him. I am breaking up with you. My best friend is a accident and emergency trauma consultant. He called me at 2 a.m. one morning just to hear my voice. He'd held the hands of 7 people as they died in his shift and he felt broken. His shift was halfway done. They died of COVID. Your boyfriend is not a guy to be with forever. What kind of asshole are you dating? COVID or the flu? Why would you do that? I would call the gym and let them know. I expect that he won't ever take it seriously no matter what you say. But it's an interesting insight as to the type of person he is and you should take note of that. I saw that you broke up with him. I'm sorry, op. But please do the right thing and call the gym he went to and inform them so they can notify members present that day and staff to get tested and isolate. First, call the gym. Second, break up. To some of the comments saying people used to go to the gym with colds, flu back in the day. If someone went to the gym with the flu in 2019, I'd judge fuck out of them. COVID is way deadlier than influenza. Just because he'll likely be okay with it doesn't mean the 60-year-old at the gym will be, or the kid who has parents undergoing cancer surgery. Fuck me. Like that downvoted post below said, he'll be fine in a week. Then why can't he wait a week to go to the gym, the stupid fucking selfish cunt.